Kho Gừng, a dish older than the road that carries it. From the central coast of Vietnam, from My En Trung, where the kitchens are small and the winters turn damp and cold, and a cook learned to braise a humble bird in burnt sugar and ginger until the whole house smelled of warmth. This is Kho, the slow caramel braise at the heart of Vietnamese home cooking. Not a stir-fry, not a soup, something quieter. Sugar is taken almost to the edge of burning, then tamed with water, and a tough, inexpensive cut is coaxed over low heat into something tender and glossy and deep. Patience is the only expensive ingredient. 4 bowls, 20 minutes to prepare, 45 to cook, 65 in all. We begin with a 1/4 cup of palm sugar, 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil, and 1/2 cup of water. Then 4 ounces of fresh ginger, 4 cloves of garlic, a 1/4 cup of soy sauce, 1 teaspoon of sea salt, and 3 pounds of chicken cut into small bone-in pieces. It begins with the caramel, the nuc mao, a 1/4 cup of palm sugar, alone in a heavy clay pot over medium-low heat. We wait. The sugar melts, pales, then darkens slowly to the color of deep mahogany. Then a single tablespoon of oil whisked in to steady it. 10 seconds too long and it turns bitter. So we watch, and we do not look away. Now, 1/2 cup of water poured in carefully to stop the cooking. The caramel hisses and settles. We whisk constantly until the dark and the water become one smooth, glossy liquid. The hardest part is behind us. What remains is only time and gentle heat. Then the ginger, 4 ounces, GUNG, sliced into thin matchsticks, stirred straight into the bubbling caramel. The steam turns sharp and sweet and warming all at once. 4 cloves of garlic follow, stirred until fragrant, about 1 minute. This is the smell that fills a Central Coast kitchen on a cold and rainy night. Now the savory. A 1/4 cup of soy sauce, poured into the glistening caramel to build the braising liquid. Then 1 teaspoon of sea salt to balance the deep sweetness. Sweet and salt and the heat of ginger. The 3 voices of Kho finding each other in the pot. And then the chicken. 3 pounds, cut small, bone and all. We add it to the pot, and we stir slowly until every piece wears the dark, glossy glaze. The bones matter here. As they warm, they give up their marrow, and the marrow thickens the sauce from within. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is hurried. The lid goes on, low heat now, for 35 minutes. The pot barely murmurs. Inside, the clay holds the warmth even and steady, and the chicken grows tender. Then the lid lifts. 5 minutes more, uncovered, while the sauce reduces and clings until it falls from a spoon in a thick, slow ribbon. To understand this dish, you must understand Kho. Across Vietnam, the caramel braise is not one recipe, but 100. Fish, pork belly, eggs, tofu, each simmered in burnt sugar sauce until it glows. It is the taste of an ordinary Tuesday, the dish a family eats with rice when there is no occasion at all. And that is exactly why it endures. Ginger belongs to the center of the country. In My En Chung, in the old imperial city of Hue, the cooking leans warmer, sharper, more frugal than the sweet south or the herbal north. Ginger was medicine before it was seasoning, taken to drive out the damp cold of the rainy season. To braise a chicken with it was to cook comfort and remedy in the same pot. And the vessel matters. The clay pot, the Noi Dut, was the poor kitchen's quiet luxury. It heats slowly and holds that heat long after the flame is gone, so a tough bird turns tender without a cook standing guard. The grandmothers held that food cooked in earth simply tastes of more. Generations of dinners have darkened its walls. So this is not a feast dish. It asks for nothing rare. A little sugar, a knob of ginger, a humble cut of bird, and time. It is the food of thrift and care, the kind of cooking handed down not in writing, but in the smell a child remembers and looks for years later in their own small kitchen. The pieces come to rest in the pot, dark and shining, the ginger soft now, the sauce a thick caramel syrup. Spoon it over a bowl of hot steamed rice. Let the glaze run down into the grains. Steam lifts into the candlelight. Kho Gừng survives because it never tried to impress. It only tried to warm the people who came home cold, and to make a little go a long, long way. And the table, at last, is set.